Last time on Are We the Bad Guys? A live Dungeons & Dragons stream. I guess we're gonna go with the term protagonists, woke up in their community center / bar / tire center / cafe / coffee shop to find out that the resistance hadn't sent them a new job, but had assassinated a bartender's mother to replace that bartender with someone who would also tend bar but give our protagonists less information than the original bar owner. They pass the time by attempting to thatch a roof but making it worse, committing armed robbery, and introducing the concept of predatory lending and rent-own capitalism to the sleepy little town they were staying in. Soon, they were approached by a fancy lady who wanted to enlist our protagonist to bring her the heart of a werewolf to cure sick children at an orphanage. Our protagonist decided that in order to kill this werewolf, they needed silver weapons, and the best way to do that was to trick Bug into intimidating someone to give her silver weapons by telling her that hostile actions were a sign of friendship. And also, Kranus learned a very hard lesson about the actual cost of items when he paid almost a third of the group's gold he was hoarding for a silver longsword that only Bug was qualified to wield. Coincidentally, that sword brought Bug, the half-orc paladin, so much closer to becoming the Witcher, or at the very least, an emerald version of Henry Cavill. Our protagonists then set out into the woods in search of a werewolf that was rumored to be nearby. They stopped by the orphanage, where they were definitely not allowed to look at the orphans, before setting out on a quest to save the orphans that they were certainly not allowed to look at. They came across an old hermit who was pretty weird, and everyone was almost certain was a werewolf, but he said he wasn't. And there was a big lecture about metagaming, and then the old hermit actually turned into a wolf, and then he ran away, and it proved the players right, and even though their characters weren't allowed to admit that they definitely knew he was a werewolf, it was a whole thing. In the morning, our protagonist tracked down the werewolf into a big clearing where he was surrounded by other wolves who were not werewolves but were very impressive nonetheless, and led to another lecture on metagaming. An extensive and heated conversation took place in which the werewolf claimed his wife had been killed by a night hag who sounded an awful lot like the lady who wanted our protagonist to kill the werewolf but wouldn't let them look at the orphans. A bargain was struck where everyone would work together to go kill a night hag, and the werewolf was still pretty emo about the whole thing. But they had a plan, and no amount of My Chemical Romance was going to stop it. Now you're all caught up on what happened last time on Are We the Bad Guys? A live Dungeons & Dragons stream. Now, let the game begin.